All right, hello everyone. Today we're going to keep talking about graphing quadratic functions in standard form. So last time we talked about how we can find the key features for a function in standard form, but now let's talk about how we can use those key features to graph the parabola. And again, I think most of these we already know. It's going to be very similar to graphing in the other forms that we saw. So once again, for standard form, it's going to be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and then, so step one, where is the axis of symmetry? So again, we're going to use our formula, x is equal to negative b over 2a. In this case, my a is negative 2, b is 8, c is negative 1. So let's go ahead and plug everything in. We have negative b, so negative 8 over 2 times negative 2. So negative 8 over negative 4, and that's 2. So my axis of symmetry is x equals 2. And let's go ahead and draw that in on our graph. X equals 2. Okay, so, and step 2, what's the x coordinate of the vertex? Well, that's 2. And how do we find the y value? Well, we can go ahead and use our equation. So let's go ahead and do y equals negative 2 x squared, but I'm going to plug in 2 for x. And then let's go ahead and then evaluate this. And then this part you can use the calculator. So I get negative 2 times 4 plus 16 minus 1. So that looks like 7. So my y value is 7, and there's my vertex 2, 7. And let's go ahead and graph that as well. So 2, 7 should be all the way up here. And then step 3, plot the y-intercept and use the patterns we know to plot additional points. So again, y-intercept, for something in standard form, we go back up to our equation. We know that it's always going to be my c value. In this case, that's negative 1. Because when you plug in x equals 0, everything else will become 0. So I just get negative 1. So there's my y-intercept. So I can graph that as well. 0, negative 1. There it is. And then using the patterns that we know, so just like with the other forms, let's look at our coefficient, our leading coefficient. In this case, it's negative 2. So we know my parabola is going to open down. And then our normal pattern of points will be down 1, down 3, and down 5. In this case, because we have a 2, everything will be doubled. So then we're going to go ahead and use down 2 and down 6. So let's first go down 2, here and here. And then down 6, there's the y-intercept. There's our new point. Let's go ahead and join our graph. Here it is. And there it is. Okay, so again, most of this should be familiar to you guys from graphing in vertex and intercept forms. But let's just go ahead and do a couple more examples just to kind of get the hang of this. Axis of symmetry. Again, this is in standard form. So here A is a half, B is negative 3, C is 2. Again, I'm going to have negative B over 2A. So negative B, negative 3 over 2 times a half. So that's 3 over 1, which is just 3. So x equals 3 is my axis of symmetry. So that tells us that my x value of the vertex is 3. And then for the y value, we can once again go ahead and plug that into our equation. So I have y is equal to 1/2 3 squared minus 3 times 3 plus 2. And again, you can use the calculator to do this part. I should get 4.5 minus 9 plus 2. I think that's negative 2.5. So there's my vertex. And then let's go ahead and graph everything. So x equals 3 is my axis of symmetry. There it is. And then my vertex is 3, negative 2.5. So right about there. And my y-intercept, again, in this case, will be my c value. So that's going to be 0, 2. I can graph that as well, 0, 2. And then let's go ahead and use the pattern of points. So here it's 1/2. So then instead of going up by 1, 3, and 5, right, here there's no negative sign, so we know we're going up. I'm gonna go by half of these values. So 0.5, 1.5, 2.5. So 0.5 will be here and here. 1.5 will be here and here. 2.5 is there and there. Okay, and then we can go ahead and draw in our parabola. There we go. Okay, so again, should be pretty similar to the other forms. And then let's just quickly do one more for example. So a is -1, -4, 6. So negative b, -4 over 2a. So that's +4 over -2. So -2. So that tells us my x value is -2 for the vertex. And then for the y, let's go ahead and plug it in. So -2 squared minus 4 times -2 plus 6. So that's -4 plus 8 plus 6. That looks like 10. And let's go ahead and draw in our axis of symmetry. And in this case, I'm doing -2, 10 as my vertex, which is all the way up here. And then here I have a negative sign, -1. So then I'm just going to go down by down 1, down 3, and down 5. So I should go here and here, and then 3, and then go down 5, 3, 4, 5, and 5. And by the way, I forgot about the y-intercept, but that's going to be 0, 6, because our c value is 6. And we do have that on our graph right over here. And here is my parabola. Okay, so that is how we can graph quadratic functions in standard form. And let's go ahead and look at a quick little application of that as well. So we have Anthony standing on a balcony and throws a ball to his dog. And here is my function. So let's go ahead and draw a quick sketch. So let's say we have the balcony right over here, and there it is. So here is the ball being thrown. There it is. And then maybe here is the dog. Okay, not the best picture. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of find our key features. So we have, here's the vertex. Here is the y-intercept, which is where I'm starting. So let's go ahead and find all the key features first. So where is my y-intercept, meaning where am I starting? Well, this is in standard form, so we know that's going to be at 0, 16. So then that tells us that this distance is 16. And then where is my vertex? Well, this is in standard form, so -b over 2a. So I have -4 over 2 times -2. So that looks like 1. And then the y value, let's go ahead and plug in 1. -2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 16. So that looks like 18. So then my vertex is 1, 18. So then that tells us that point up there is 1, 18. Okay, so now I think we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and look at the questions. How tall is the balcony Anthony standing on? What key feature is this? Well, this, in this case, is my y-intercept. And then we already found it. That's going to be 0, 16. There it is. And let me actually draw in the parabola right over here, just so we have the whole picture, right? It should look something like this, where this is 16 and this is the point 1, 18. Okay, and then after how many seconds will the ball reach its maximum height? What is the maximum height? So this, of course, we're talking about the vertex. And our vertex is at 1, 18. So the x is 1, meaning it's after 1 second. And then the maximum height is 18 feet. Okay, and that takes care of that. And then finally, find h of 3 and interpret its meaning. So something we've done many times before. Let's go ahead and plug in 3 into our equation. Plus 4 times 3 plus 16. So that looks like negative 2 times 9. So negative 18 plus 12 plus 16. And that looks like 10. So there is h of 3. h of 3 is 10. And what does that mean in the context? Well, so when x is 3, meaning after 3 seconds, because in this case, x is how many seconds? After 3 seconds, the y value is 10, and in this case, the y value is the height of the ball. So after 3 seconds, the ball is at 10 feet high. Okay, so that is pretty much it in terms of standard form. Again, pretty much everything is the same. It's very similar to the other forms, except the only difference is how we can find the vertex, and make sure we know the formula is negative b over 2a. And okay, other than that, I think everything else is good to go. Please make sure you're taking notes and try the homework. And again, as always, make sure you let us know if you have any questions. And other than that, have a great rest of your day.